For years, defenders thought they could stop him, but most ended up embarrassed, outpaced, or left on the ground. His speed, skill, and power turned countless players into highlights for the wrong reasons. These are the unforgettable victims who learned the hard way what it's like to face true greatness. Lionel Messi wasn't the only man Ronaldo battled for years. Fernando Torres learned that the hard way.
He is the bully of the big boys, fearful of no one, better than almost everyone. His stage just one more time. He's been able to advance and played in for Cristiano Ronaldo to score. And Real Madrid are halfway back. It's him again. It's always him.
In the Premier League, Torres was Liverpool's golden striker, feared across England. But when Ronaldo exploded with Manchester United, scoring screamers, dominating defenses, and winning trophies, Torres faded into the background. He was supposed to be the league's poster boy, yet Ronaldo snatched the spotlight and never gave it back. If Torres got pushed aside, what Ronaldo did to Zlatan Ibrahimovic was even colder. Zlatan has always been a giant of confidence, the man who claimed he was unstoppable. But when Sweden met Portugal in the 2013 World Cup playoff, Zlatan scored twice and looked ready to send his nation to Brazil. Then Ronaldo destroyed him. A ruthless hat trick silenced Zlatan and killed Sweden's dream. Ibrahimovic was left standing helpless, while Ronaldo carried Portugal on his back to the World Cup. Even legends with history at Real Madrid became victims. Kaká arrived as a Ballon d'Or winner, expected to rule Spain. The media called him the future king of Madrid. But when Ronaldo walked into the Bernabeu, Kaká became a shadow. Injuries hurt him, yes, but it was Ronaldo's dominance that sealed his fate. Every goal, every chant, every headline was for CR7. Kaká's dream move turned into a nightmare because one man owned the stage. Then there was Wayne Rooney. At Manchester United, Rooney was the star boy, the future of English football. For years he carried the team, but when Ronaldo matured, everything shifted. Rooney's thunder was stolen as CR7 transformed from tricky winger into goal machine. By the time Ronaldo lifted the Ballon d'Or in 2008, Rooney was no longer the face of United, he was the supporting act. The Englishman himself admitted it. Ronaldo had surpassed him completely, but maybe the cruelest victim of all was Gareth Bale. He was supposed to be the heir at Real Madrid, the man to lead after Ronaldo, and for moments he shined. Bicycle kicks in Champions League finals, unstoppable runs. But as long as Ronaldo wore white, Bale was second best. Fans didn't chant Bale's name, they worshipped Ronaldo. And when Ronaldo left Madrid, Bale thought it was his time. Instead, he was booed, cast aside, and forgotten. Ronaldo's shadow was too heavy to escape, and if Bale's downfall shows how Ronaldo crushed teammates, the next story proves how he shattered entire teams and defenders with a single swing of his boot. Chelsea thought they had everything under control in the 2008 Champions League final. Their defense, stacked with John Terry and Ricardo Carvalho, had handled some of Europe's best strikers, but then Ronaldo rose above all of them. He bullied Carvalho in the air and powered home a header that stunned Chelsea. Even though he missed his penalty later, that first strike was enough to tilt the balance. Chelsea's dream collapsed in Moscow, and Ronaldo walked away as the king of Europe. Then came Germany's national team, who suffered again and again at Ronaldo's feet. Spain's national team looked unstoppable, dominating every opponent on their path to the final. But there, they met the ultimate challenge, Cristiano Ronaldo. On the biggest stage, he humiliated Lamine Yamal with blistering pace and ruthless precision. The teenager, hailed as Spain's future, could only watch as Ronaldo delivered the decisive blow. Spain's dream run ended the moment they crossed paths with football's final boss. Atletico Madrid became one of Ronaldo's favorite victims. Year after year, he crushed their hopes. In 2014, it was the Champions League final, where he scored the final goal in extra time to seal Real Madrid's long-awaited La Decima. In 2017, he scored a ruthless hat-trick in the semi-finals to bury Atletico once again. Diego Simeone built his entire team on grit and defense, but none of that mattered against Ronaldo. Atletico's fans hated him not just because of his success, but because he repeatedly turned their biggest dreams into dust. Another unforgettable victim was Roma in the Champions League. In 2007, Ronaldo and Manchester United destroyed them 7-1 at Old Trafford. The Italians arrived confident, but Ronaldo ripped them apart with his speed and power. Roma's defense looked like amateurs as he scored and assisted with ease. That night didn't just eliminate Roma, it embarrassed them on a global stage. For years after, whenever people remembered that massacre, they thought of one man, Cristiano Ronaldo. And then there's Spain, the entire national team. In the 2018 World Cup, Ronaldo faced them with Portugal in one of the greatest group stage games ever. Spain had Gerard Piqué, Sergio Ramos, Sergio Busquets, the best of Barcelona and Madrid combined. Ronaldo didn't care. He scored a hat-trick, including a stunning free kick in the final minutes to make it 3-3. Spain had outplayed Portugal for long stretches, but Ronaldo dragged his team alone and broke Spanish hearts on the biggest stage. And if Ronaldo could destroy defenses of that caliber, the next victims show how he even humiliated entire nations with his ruthless brilliance. Arsenal fans still have nightmares about Cristiano Ronaldo. In the 2009 Champions League semi-final, he tore them apart. First, a thunderbolt free kick from an impossible distance. Then, a blistering counterattack where he sprinted the full length of the pitch to finish a stunning goal. Arsenal were embarrassed in front of their own fans, and Ronaldo walked off smirking, knowing he'd ended their European dream. The Gunners never came close to glory again during that era. Then there's Juventus, a club that spent years suffering at Ronaldo's hands before eventually signing him. In the 2017 Champions League final, he scored twice to crush their hopes. A year later, he returned with Real Madrid and scored one of the greatest goals ever, an overhead kick in Turin that had Juventus fans standing and applauding, even as their team was being humiliated. That goal wasn't just beautiful, it was cruel. Juve were the victims, and they knew it. Another unforgettable collapse came at the expense of Bayern Munich. In the 2017 quarterfinals, Bayern pushed Madrid to the edge, but Ronaldo came alive when it mattered most. He scored 5 goals across 2 legs, dismantling one of the most organized defenses in Europe. Manuel Neuer, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, was left helpless as Ronaldo fired shot after shot past him. Bayern walked off stunned, while Madrid celebrated another giant slain. But Ronaldo didn't just break clubs, he broke nations. Hungary, Iceland, and countless smaller teams across Europe were left helpless during qualifiers and tournaments. Every time they faced Portugal, Ronaldo was the difference. He would leap higher, strike harder, and celebrate louder, making sure the underdogs knew they never stood a chance. For many of those countries, their biggest international heartbreaks came at the boots of Cristiano Ronaldo. And finally, we can't ignore Lionel Messi and Barcelona. For years, they were the ultimate rivalry. Messi had his magic, but when Ronaldo stepped into El Clasico, he became Barcelona's nightmare. Time and time again, he silenced the Camp Nou, scoring decisive goals, including the famous moment where he celebrated with a calm "I'm here" gesture after crushing Barca's defense. It wasn't just victories, it was psychological warfare. Barcelona had Messi, but they were forced to live in Ronaldo's shadow too many times. Cristiano Ronaldo has left behind a trail of victims, teammates overshadowed, clubs destroyed, nations humiliated, and even legends forced to bow. He didn't just win games, he broke spirits, and that's why his name still terrifies opponents every time it's mentioned.
When in need, call 7.